So here we go again. First quote today is from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Where's the quote from? Of course, the Science of Mind magazine, the Daily Guides, courtesy of Creative Life Spiritual Center in Spring, Texas. Ralph Waldo Emerson. We lie in the lap of immense intelligence, which makes us receivers of its truth and organs of its activity. And the title of all this is Law Set in Motion. And Ernest Holmes in Seminar Lectures on page 72 says, we do not say, let God do it, in the sense that God will bake the biscuits. We say, let God do it only in the sense that God is all there is, or let the God in me do it. The impulsion of the universe is love, and its propulsion is law. The impulsion of the universe is love, and its propulsion is law. The one balances the other. It is inconceivable that it could be otherwise. One is personal, the other is impersonal. More about this in a minute. It seems to me that we're dealing with something that starts with pure intelligence. When the movement of this intelligence, which we call thought, or contemplation, or mode of thought, it creates, in a certain sense, the law of its own being out of the law of all being. Therefore, the law is set in motion and produces the result. So if all that seems a little bit odd, here is Reverend Jesse Jennings, the writer of this month's Daily Guide, saying, we live our lives inside an overarching higher power, a patterning intelligence working through a creative principle that guides us when we let it. But it doesn't exactly wait on us hand and foot, as they say, such as baking our biscuits or delivering our expected good fully assembled. Rather, the power leads us toward useful ingredients, be they physical or philosophical. When we pray for trust to overcome impatience or stillness to supplant anxiety, we're not immediately rendered trusting or still. But whatever we have to work on or release for these new states to be so begins to be revealed to us. We know more about ourselves than we did, and self-awareness is the highest gift, opening us to both contentment within and compassion for all others. So, how much of that did you grasp? Ernest Holmes can be a little bit obtuse at times. And sometimes Reverend Jesse, in his explanations, is also a little bit obtuse. So what are they saying here? They're saying, first of all, that God is all there is, that there's nothing outside of God. And then they're saying, or the divine, if you like, if you don't like the word God, the divine. And that the divine has got two modes of expressing itself. One is the conscious aspect, the thought, and the other is the subconscious aspect, which Holmes calls law. So he calls the conscious thought aspect love, and he calls the other aspect, the subconscious aspect, law. So one brings up the idea of what it wants, and the other simply follows and brings it into being. So love and law, conscious, subconscious. And he's saying that that same thing exists within us, that within us, and I don't think many people would argue with it, that we have a conscious aspect. We can think up things. We can imagine things. We can live in the past. We can live in the future. We can live in the present. And then we have a subconscious aspect that's going on underneath all that. And it's the same with the divine. So if you want to look at it from the Hebrew scriptures, from the book of Genesis, creation, that God created humans in its own image, in male and female, but also in conscious and subconscious aspect. But what it means indirectly now, or directly now, is that we have the power within us to bring about our own good. That it's not us that's bringing it about, but it's us that's actually using the power of the universe, of God, the divine, flowing through us to influence the law aspect of the divine. So we have consciousness, we have subconsciousness. The divine has consciousness, love, subconsciousness, law. And we can use that law to let things flow. So we mold things in our mind, and then they flow through the divine mind, and it comes to be. And what causes that to happen? Belief. What is belief? Thought plus feeling. Conscious, subconscious. So that's in essence what they're saying. I mean, the affirmation kind of sums it up. I know there's a power flowing through my word of faith that makes straight the way before me. And the word of faith here is my belief. So I know there's a power flowing through me because of my belief that makes straight the way before me. So take it any way you wish. So in other words, it's done unto you as you believe. So it's just another way of saying the same thing. So I hope that makes it a little bit clearer. And I hope that you tune in tomorrow morning to Reverend Lisa, 9:30. And with that, I'm going to bid you adieu. I think that's enough explanation for one day, don't you? So until next time, namaste.